all-in-one farm. It's cheap, really easy to build, and it's gonna get you a lot of really good loot. Okay, and here's everything that you're gonna be needing for this farm. I know the redstone looks kind of scary, but trust me, it's like really simple. One more thing, for these saplings, they need to be spruce. It's really important. But yeah, let's stop talking and let's get to building. Small disclaimer before we start building the farm, it needs to be in a chunk. So like the entire farm in one chunk, so it can't be on a chunk border or else it's not gonna work. Start by taking your building blocks, and I want you to place 8 blocks like this, so 4 and then 4 more. Skip 1 block and place 4 more blocks like this. Now looking at the left side, on this block, like on the edge, you're gonna place 1 block on top, 1 next to it, and then 1 behind it, and you can break this first one right here. Now for the redstone clock, it's really simple. Start with 1 lever, 1 redstone torch here below, 1 redstone repeater facing that way, and 1 redstone dust here below. And if you did everything correctly, you should like just go crazy. Now I want you to click the lever to turn it off. Go behind the farm and place 4 redstone dust. Go back to the front and look at these back blocks right here and place 2 sticky pistons like this. Take your sand blocks, place them right here, so where the pistons are pushing, and also on the extended part of these sticky pistons. Now place 4 blocks on top of the sticky pistons, and this time we're going to be placing 2 more pistons, but they're not sticky. Facing you just like this. Next, I want you to take some solid blocks, and this step is kind of weird. You're just going to be taking your solid blocks and just like make walls, until you're 1 block taller than the pistons themselves. And do the same thing on this side, but please don't like ruin the redstone, because like, yeah. Face the farm from the front, place 2 solid blocks right here and 2 solid blocks on top of the top pistons. Now this next step is kind of tricky, so pay attention. Can you stop pushing me? Move! You're gonna take some more solid blocks and add 1 layer on the front, just like I'm doing here. Now we're gonna start working on the collection system. So what I want you to do is skip 1 block from the farm and place a double chest here in the middle. Go behind it and place 2 hoppers going into it. Now on top of these 2 hoppers, you're gonna place 1 composter on one and 1 smoker on the other. It doesn't matter which side you put them. And then place 2 more hoppers, 1 going into the smoker and 1 into the compost. Why can't I place it? Just like this, so they're going inside of them. Now this next step is purely aesthetic, but I like adding some more blocks here at the front to make it kind of like more uniform. Go on top of the 2 top hoppers, and I want you to place 4 glass panes on top of them, just like this. Now go on each side and extend the walls up and place 2 more blocks on top of the glass pane. Okay, now you're gonna be facing your farm from behind. And now to finish the redstone, you're gonna place 1 block here at the end, 1 redstone torch on top of that block, and it should light up. 1 block on top of the redstone torch on top of the block, 1 redstone torch on top of the block, on top of the redstone torch on top of the block, and believe it or not, you're gonna place 1 more block right here on top of the redstone torch on top of the block, and then place 2 blocks here behind the pistons. Next, I want you to stand on top of your farm, and we're gonna be doing some stuff. You're gonna place 2 more blocks on the side that's opposite to the pistons, and now things are gonna get wet. You're just gonna be placing 2 water buckets on top of the pistons. Place 2 trapdoors on the blocks where you place the water. Now take your 2 pieces of kelp and place them on the sand. And finally, you're gonna be placing 4 redstone dust on these blocks right here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your farm is complete. And you're probably wondering, how is this thing behind me an all-in-one farm and gets you like a bunch of stuff? This is where it gets fun. If you didn't recognize this farm yet, this is a 0-tick kelp farm, which means if I press this lever right here, I'm gonna be getting an insane amount of kelp. The kelp going into the left hopper will be funneled into the composter, which will get me some bone meal, and the one that goes into the right chest will be funneled into the smoker, where for now you're gonna need to place any piece of fuel. It doesn't matter, coal, wood, whatever, and it's gonna start smoking, and it's gonna get you some dried kelp. So just like this, we already have a bone meal farm, a food farm, and an XP farm with the smoker. But we're just getting started. If I take some of the dried kelp from the chest, use a crafting table, you can use this dried kelp to make a dried kelp block. And believe it or not, this is one of the best fuel sources in the game. But anyways, let's keep going. Take your spruce saplings and you can place them next to the farm, so 4 next to each other. Take some of the bone meal that's generating in the farm and use it on one of the saplings, and just look at this. Using 4 saplings, you're gonna get this massive spruce tree. Now I want you to take your axe and get to breaking. And as you can see, with 1 tree alone, I got over a stack. Now we're gonna wait for the leaves to break, and as you can see, they're gonna be giving you some more spruce saplings. I already have 3, and here's the 4th one. So now you can repeat the same process over and over again, giving you an infinite amount of wood. You can use a furnace to turn it into a better fuel source, but you can also turn it into planks and then into sticks, trade it with villagers, and now you have an infinite amount of emeralds. Yeah, that's a good farm. Bye-bye!